What's up guys, CM back again with the last advent calendar video for this year. It's a bit late, I know, but I got home from seeing family about half an hour ago, so it is what it is. And so today we have the Basanti C45. This comes in basically basically you've got three options in terms of things you can buy regarding it this year. One, you've got a bundle called the Bisonte C45 Daybreak, which gets you a pretty nice little 3D skin. I guess it's like a red and white skin with like satchels and stuff like all over it. It's pretty neat. It's not like over the top or anything, but it's neat. And you've got a bundle that's just the tank itself, and then you've got an option for just the skin as well if you happen to already own the tank. So before I go, before I go anything else, before I go over the tank itself, I'm going to go over the price for each of those bundles. So the price where you get the tank and the skin is £39 and 1 pence in terms of Great British pounds. That's €46 and 16 cents. That's quite a lot. For the tank itself, that's £32 and 2 pence, which is €37 and 89 cents. And then for just the skin, it's £8 and 51 pence, or €10 and 7 cents. So, what for those of you who haven't played this thing, I'll go over it a little bit, right? So you are an auto reloader, like you are a lot of the Italian tanks. So basically, all the heavies from tier 8 upwards, all the medium tanks from tier 8 upwards as well. And obviously, just compared to the mediums, slower with more armor and more alpha damage. So I'm going to start with the gun. So just bring it up. It's a 105mm gun. It has 3 shots in the auto reloader clip. Each one of the AP and heat shells for standard and premium do 360 alpha damage. The HE does 440. The AP pen is 218, and the heat pen is 270 with 105mm of HE pen. It's actually quite nice for HE pen, actually. And then for your loading times, so for when so if you're fully loaded and you fire a single shell, you will then have a base reload of 12 seconds. If you fire 2 shells, you'll have to do a 15-second reload and then your 12-second reload to get both of those back. If you fire all 3, you then have to go through a 17, a 15, and a 12-second reload to get all 3 back. For a total of, so that would be 30, 35-second reload to get all 3 shells back after firing the clip. And that's just the minimum. Isn't that? No, sorry, it's more than that. Sorry, I can maths. More like 40, 40, 49 even. No, sorry, 45. God damn it, I suck. Don't worry about it, guys. I can maths. We're not even bothering to cut that. Don't worry. I'm not redoing this. It's too late. So yeah, 45 seconds to get the whole clip reloaded. Also, the gun is pretty derpy at 0.42 dispersion with quite a long aiming time at 2.7 seconds. Yeah, not great. And so you don't have great DPM. You've got the clip potential because 3 shots of 360 alpha is going to hurt anything that you see. So in that case, well, if you've got so long to reload, what about the armor? What's the survivability like? Well, 135mm on the upper plate. That is anywhere where you see this kind of bolted on armor, or at least most of the places where you see it. Some places thicker, some places less so. But at the very thickest, it's probably like around this one, 135mm angled. And then it's obviously all angled, so it's pretty strong. If you hit any of these kind of add-on armor, places where all the bolts are, you do have some gaps for like the headlamp and the tow hooks, so keep those in mind. And of course, the driver's hatch is exposed as well, but that's very difficult to hit. And then of course your lower plate is a weak spot as well. Then your side armor is 75mm. It's kind of annoying to hit because you can kind of see it behind all these boxes here. That's actually where the hull armor starts. Where the tracks are, and where all these boxes are, that is not the side armor. So if you only hit these, you will not do damage. It's kind of like the American tanks in that way, where they don't have any overhang over the tracks, so you cannot track and penetrate by shooting up through the tracks into like an overhang, such as on some of the German tanks, some of the other tanks in the game, like the Chinese heavies as well. And your hull rear is 30 millimeters, so you will get pinned by HE if someone gets around behind you with a derp gun. And your turret armor, 185 frontal. Now, this does have spaced armor as well, add-on armor there also, so it's actually a lot more effective than you might think, but it has some weak spots as well compared to the rest of it. So you can probably see there's a flat part right here and right here where some rounds can get through. There's an angle bit here which is slightly weaker than the rest of the turret, and the same here. So some shells will go through those as well. And of course you've got the little bits under the gun mantlet there, well, around the gun mantlet, the lower end there. Those are kind of annoying to hit as well. And so the turret can be quite troll. Is it the strongest turret at tier 8? Hell no. There are far stronger turrets at the tier. But the nice thing is you don't have an easy weak spot to hit. You don't have like a cupola. Literally, you don't have a cupola at all. These are just viewports. So good luck hitting anything that's on the roof. So it can be strong. It's not the most consistent turret from what I've seen, but it's not the worst either. You do have some of the side armor running along the sides, and so you do have 80 millimeters on the sides. That's not including the space armor as far as I'm aware. I don't think these values actually include that. And then you've got just a standard 50 millimeters on the back, no spaced armor there. So it's okay survivability wise. It's not bad. It's nothing amazing, nothing too terrible. So it's just okay. 1400 hit points, a little less than the average for tier 8 heavies. Normally the average is about 1500, so you've got a tiny bit less. Your mobility, meanwhile, it's not the fastest, not the slowest. 12.36 horsepower per ton for the specific power. 50 kilometers an hour maximum top speed. Forwards, and 15 in reverse. It turns reasonably quick as well. It doesn't really have any camo because it's a heavy, so we're not going to worry about that. And the base view range on the turret is 380, so you can get a reasonable view range with this thing as well. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the gun depression is 10 degrees and the gun elevation is 20, so it can be fairly flexible with where it goes as well. So, what do I think about this thing? I kind of feel like this tank is... It's decent. It could be a lot better if the gun was more accurate, or if the armor was a bit more reliable. I've seen these sometimes bounce all the shots in the world, and sometimes none whatsoever. Because the armor is it's decent but inconsistent. And when you've got inconsistencies, that's when things start to be awkward at times. And I do feel like the armor is not the biggest issue with this thing. I feel like if the gun were a little less derpy, then this thing would be a lot better. I don't know if that's something it needs right now, considering the rest of the balance in the game. I think there are other tanks that could do with a buff first, but I do feel like this thing, a little bit more accuracy would definitely be good. Oh, as well, on top of that, guys, this is the 3D skin that they have for it, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I feel like if the gun was just a little more accurate, maybe give it 0.39 base accuracy instead of 0.42, then it would be a better tank. So it's one of those where I would run it single shot. I would just fire one shot at a time. So fire one shot, reload that shot, unless I had a potential to kill someone. So if I were to be able to take out another tank with my full 3-round clip, then that's what I would use that potential for. Otherwise, I would fire one shot, reload it, fire another one, reload that shot again as well. Rinse and repeat. I would never use the full clip unless I knew for a fact that I was going to be taking someone out with it. So that's the advantage of these. You do get the flexibility of both being an autoloader and not an autoloader. And it does have the flexibility of the gun depression and gun elevation, so it can use a wide variety of positions. The turret armor is okay, so you can be annoying for people to deal with if you're hull down. Just don't expect consistency against higher tiers, because if they have good shots at these little bits here and here, especially if they're TDs, they're gonna absolutely slap you. Uh, but a lot of the time, it can be really, really strong if you're hull down. It really punishes like tanks with no armor very well. This thing, like it really kind of stomps mediums at times because of just how the armor is. They have to take longer to aim. You might not necessarily need to versus them. It depends what tank you're up against, of course, but that's the general theme that this stomps the mediums, and then against the heavies, it has a little more trouble with those because of the derpiness of the gun. Anyway, guys, do I feel like this is worth it? For the price it's at? No. Hell no. If this was, instead of £32 and 2 pence for the tank by itself, if that price was maybe 27, £28, yes, I would feel like this thing is worth it. At that price, this the 3D model, the 3D skin, that is kind of what is what it is. I would again appreciate if it was a little less than it is, but I don't feel like the price that they're asking for the skin is unreasonable either. This is mainly because I do feel like the art department and the 3D model design department do a really good job on these. So I think they deserve credit where it's due, especially since they do a fantastic job with the game in terms of how they make things look in general. And so, yeah, if the tank itself was cheaper, I would say it'd be worth it. Unfortunately, it's just a little too expensive for me to say it's worthwhile. Anyway, if you guys have played this tank before and you want to let me know what you think of it, feel free to drop a comment as always. And if you guys have not played this but maybe fought against it, let me know how you found fighting against as well. Let me know your experiences both playing and fighting against this tank. Anyway, that's all from this one. Next video I'll probably be switching to, well, next time I'll probably be switching to weekly videos. So I'll be looking to like work on something within the next week or so, and then we'll go from there. As well as that, guys, expect to see a little bit of Dark Souls 2 content on the channel every now and then, because I've been really enjoying getting back to the PvP in that game. So I'll be doing a bit of both Dark Souls 2 and World of Tanks, so expect to see that. Maybe sometimes you'll see the odd extra video. I think the Dark Souls videos will maybe be bonus videos. Anyway, guys, that's all for me. Hope you've had a great Christmas, and I shall see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.